We're on O Connel Bridge to see the plaque that commemorates the life of Father Pat Noyes. Father Pat Noyes was a great character in Dublin history. He died under suspicious circumstances here when his carriage plunged into the Liffey on August 10th, 1919. Now, Pat Noyes was advisor to Padre Clancy, who was an Irish Republican who died in the Bloody Sunday catastrophe here in 1920, and he was murdered in Dublin Castle. So Father Pat Noyes had a lot to do with the War of Independence. And what brought him to his death here was that he was being chased by some of the British Army, came around the corner, got caught on some terrible black ice, the horses couldn't deal with it, and they fell here into the Liffey. Now his body was never found, nor the horses, nor the carriage. And why would you have ice in August? Well, because he never actually existed. There's a reason why his whole plaque is put here in the first place, and that's because it more so commemorates how good Ireland is at wasting money. When Ireland was reaching the peak of its economic boom, or even the start of it maybe, we started spending a load of money on things that we didn't need. One of the things that we spent the money on was the Millennium Clock. The Millennium was coming in 2000 and we wanted to do something fancy. In Paris on the Eiffel Tower they had the countdown clock. Why not do something like that here? So they put a clock here under the Liffey, and it was going to tell you how many minutes and hours and whatever it was to the actual millennium. And here in this little rectangular square was a little box that you put in your 20p, printed out a little postcard, and then you could go, "Dear Mammy, I'm here on the bridge. We'll have a big party in this amount of days." Yeehaw! The clock was a bit of a disaster. It never really worked. Sometimes it did, but it got the nickname the chime in the slime. For the Liffey is Mackie, and sometimes you could hardly see the clock for the water was so dirty, and then other times just water would leak in, and they actually had to take the clock out of the river for a while, for there was a rowing race going on. So long before the millennium even hit, they had to take the clock away altogether because it was just an absolute joke. And then what happened was, in its place came this plaque in 2004, and it was put here by a bunch of chancellors, and Dublin City Council didn't even recognise that it was here until 2006, and they were like, "Hold up, this actually has nothing to do with us. Why? Who were this HCSI that erected it? Oh wait, that's an anagram for shit. Oh, what we did was we spent all this money on a load of shit, and now there's this little gap in the bridge." So in 2006, when they found this out, the council wanted to take the plaque away, but the people of Dublin were like, "No, you know what, this is great, and it's a nice little bit of street art, someone's done wise here." And it was all over the radio and the newspapers, and what people started to do was to commemorate the life of good old Father Pat Noyes, was put down wreaths and flowers, and the city council realised, oh, you know, let's keep it, the people like it, and let's champion the people's cause. So that's the story of Father Pat Noyes, and what brings us to O Connel Bridge today.